Hello and welcome to the final episode in our series where we create a 3D rendering engine from scratch. In this episode we will be separating the rendering engine from the main form code so that when you make a game, your game code and the rendering code will be separate to better be organized. And our end goal for this project, which has pretty much been achieved, is to make a 3D rendering engine that looks like this, where you can move the camera around, move each object around individually, and rotate it. And the rendering engine takes in object files and texture files, and then renders the map and the scene. So last episode we learned how to use Blender and export models from Blender into our program, and we also created a basic camera control code so that you can look around the map. This isn't needed for the 3D rendering engine, it was just so that you can explore your models and make sure that your rendering engine was working correctly, but you can replace this with your own game code and logic. So in this episode we will be separating our control units and pretty much all of this from our actual rendering engine. So to start, we're going to create a new script. We're going to go at the top here to project, and then we're going to go and press add class, and then we can give it the name renderer and hit add. And so this is going to create a blank script where we can put our 3D rendering engine code inside. So we're going to start by copying the majority of our 3D rendering engine. We're going to go up into to project points, and we're going to select everything below it until form 1. So we can copy this, we can delete it, and then we can paste it inside of our renderer script. Now we will have a little bit of errors in this one while we're copying everything over, because now everything's in this new script, but we'll continue on. So we're going to leave this for now and leave our mouse movement code. We will copy some of this stuff over. We'll copy this, and then we'll go here and we'll paste that at the top. Then we'll go down to extract mesh from OBJ, and we'll continue and we'll take all of this, we'll copy it and we'll delete it. Then here we'll go down to the bottom and we'll paste it and save. So now let's fix some of these errors. We can change this to renderer dot we actually need to create renderer. So we're going to go to the top here, at the very top of form 1, and we're going to write renderer like this, and then inside of form 1 we're going to write renderer equals new renderer. And so this is going to basically start the script up and tell it that we need it, and create our renderer script. So now we can access it, and we can type renderer dot, and this is basically pointing this to the variables that we have in the renderer code. So we're going to copy this, and we can just paste this along with the camera rotation and camera location, which fixes those errors. Last mouse location, that shouldn't be in the renderer, sorry. That should be in this code, because that's not used for the renderer, that's used for tracking where the mouse is. This needs to be renderer. Same with this, and this. This can also have renderer, and this can also have renderer. We're pretty much just putting renderer dot in front of everything that has a problem, because everything's been moved over to that script, and that fixes all of those errors. Now we still have a few errors in here. So focal length, there's focal length, so we can copy focal length, and we can put focal length here. Now over here we have this width and this height, but this isn't the form anymore. So what we can do is we can put here under, we're going to put brackets and write form 1, sorry, capital form 1, form 1, and then inside of form 1 we need to go and find renderer, and then just put this. So we're basically passing form 1 over to the renderer. So now the renderer has form 1 as a variable, or it can access it, and instead of writing this, we write form 1, and then form 1.height. And yeah, that's it for this. We can change this to renderer paint, and then you go back to form 1, and then inside of the form 1 designer, we open this up, we have paint plus equals form1.paint. This is our paint event. Now you can delete this, because we're going to add this event manually. Inside of here, we're going to write this dot paint plus equals renderer dot we need to make this public, so we're going to go down to our paint, we're going to make this public so it can actually be accessed. There you go. If it's private, it means we can't access it from another script, so we need to make it public so we can. And this should be it. We have moved everything over. We have redirected some of the variables over to the new renderer script, and inside the renderer script we now have the form so that we can draw to it and get the correct form size, and we have added the paint event to the renderer. So now we can give it a test. And as you can see, it still works. So that's it. We've copied it over and it works. So that's it for this series. I hope you enjoyed creating this 3D rendering engine, and now it's up to you to see what game you can create from it.